Welcome everyone. Welcome to Butcher and the Beard. I'm David Butcher. That's John Shanley. How's everyone
Hey,
doing?
good
It's
morning.
already
A little
February
bit of a
3rd.
little
Ooh.
Saturday. I mean, not much going on. But it's sports world. We got basketball. We just had the hockey little what is it? The playoffs shoot
Yeah,
around,
no,
whatever.
the All-Star. The All-Star mini games.
Anyways, that was pretty fun.
Yep.
Um, who was winning, Dave? You said you watched some of that.
Oh
I was at
yeah,
work.
I watched the whole thing. Connor McDavid won. What the hell? I can't even think of his name now. It was right in my head
That's,
when it there. But yeah,
that's
Connor
good news.
McDavid, he won. He won. They had $1 million prize. One of the goalies for the Sharks won 100,000 for the whoever saved the puck the most on the All Stars. So he won that, and he went up against Connor McDavid. Only let him score two pucks out of the whatever, like maybe like 8, 9 pucks. So that's really good. The goalies are getting good. I wanted Vasky to be there. But yeah, the day before that we weren't here, but they had the
Stuff,
NFL
so, you
the
know.
NFL mini games. They had Kelsey.
Okay.
Yeah, they had Kelsey, Jason Kelsey doing the long snapping. They had Tua, C.J. Stroud, Baker Mayfield. They were all throwing. Everybody hating on Tua for getting. He's like the most accurate quarterback, but he only had that. But they did by attempts to points. He was the second most accurate compared to C.J. Stroud, who had the most points, but the most attempts. So you can take it what you want to take it. So if it's about the points or is it about the accuracy? Because if you're going to tell me that he's the second out of all the quarterbacks that were there, but the less attempt, but the most points out of the attempts, that wouldn't that make him still accurate? Wouldn't that become accuracy? If you
Exactly.
throw if you throw five and you hit eight, I mean, if you throw it 8 times and hit it five, or you throw it 44 times and you hit it 12, you know what I mean? But you had more points because it's 12. What would you say? You know
Yep.
that
Exactly.
that's how
I
that
mean,
like, oh, he
uh,
had only this many points, but he only threw it this many times, so he had less times to get those points. If he just kept airing it out multiple times, he would have had more points for sure because he would have had more opportunities to hit those points. You know what I mean?
So
So
why did he get less throws? Is just
no,
how they
because
did it?
Baker Mayfield was shouting at him, telling him to stop. And then they were having an issue with the gold ball. When you get the gold ball, you have to throw it a different way or something like that. So they asked him, they're like, "Oh, did they tell you that?" He's like, "I think they emailed it to us like a month ago saying what it is. We didn't practice this. You know what I mean?
All
No
right.
one was practicing the competition. So like it was just some mishaps at the at that point of the competition, but it is what it is, and we could care
Yeah.
less because they don't care. Like nobody cares at the thing. They're having fun. They're laughing with each other. They're laughing the whole time while they're throwing the ball. You know what I mean? They don't care. Like Baker Mayfield ended up winning that competition versus C.J. Stroud. It was C.J. Stroud versus him in the championship of that, and Baker Mayfield won.
Baker deserves it.
Yeah,
He had a good comeback year. Um, but now we have the flag football game tomorrow, right? three
yeah,
o'clock or something like
yeah.
that. So that should be interesting. Um, and NBA, things are kind of like interesting. Embiid tore his left knee up, so he's going to be out for a while. He's going to
Oh,
have surgery, I believe. Um,
no, that's a long time
I'm
now.
not sure. So that's who knows how long he's going to be out. But that's a huge blow to the Sixers. Good for the Knicks, and good for the Heat because
Yeah,
they're in that division. Heat won two in a row, so they seem to be back on the winning ways. That's
yeah.
just it though. Like they can you have a rough patch, and then you just turn it around and have a good patch. Like I said, all these teams are close right now. Knicks won an unbelievable game the other day. Like they had no business winning that game. Although here's the other thing, like I know Tyrese Halliburton's on a minutes restriction, but he didn't play the fourth quarter, and the Knicks ended up coming back and winning that game. And it's great effort by the Knicks. But here's the thing: like if I'm a coach and I know that my best player is on a minutes restriction, wouldn't you like save his minutes for crunch time? Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe all right, you start the game, you sit most of the first half, second half, you put him in there with like 5 minutes left to go in the half, and then you start him in the second half, and then you take him out most of the second half, and then in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then with like 5 minutes left in the game, you put him back in. Like I would want
Yeah.
him in crunch time more than just all right. You get your minutes, and then that's it. You're benched for the rest of the game. But maybe it's also because the last couple minutes of the game are a little bit more intense, so it could be more physical. You don't want him to hurt himself, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you're trying to win games.
Yeah.
Now the Penguins have lost 2 or 3 in a row, and they should have won that game against the Knicks because the Knicks were severely outmanned, but they didn't, and kudos to the Knicks for being tough as balls and just fucking just getting a shot to the face from Brunson and then him coming back and winning the game for us. But the Knicks are as hot as they can be, and yet Cleveland is right behind us, and they keep winning too. We're both
Yeah.
9-1 in our last 10, so yeah, we overtook them, but they're right behind us, and we're at third, and now the Sixers, who held that third spot for most of the first half of the season, they're now in fifth place. So, the Knicks and Cleveland have both kind of jumped Sixers. And if Embiid's going to be out for a long time, as good as Maxey is, and Maxey tore it up the other day, named his first All-Star game, he scores 51 points, but that they're not going to be able to hold that.
No.
They're in fifth place. Indy's looking like they're going to be in sixth, and the Heat are only a half a game behind them for that last playoff spot. What do you think? You think Heat? I think the Heat could take it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Heat are they're gonna have to find the momentum like they found in the last two games. Because that was a rough stretch of losses. But I think I think the corners here. They're all healthy at the moment. Nobody knows the future, but we know that they can take that over. They were just in the conference championship, then the championship game versus the Broncos versus the Nuggets. But yeah, man. So they got what it takes. You know what I mean? So
I would definitely say that they are the sixth best, at least in the top six. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
for
the
sure.
seeding doesn't matter to them as much, but they should not be a play-in team. Like
Yeah,
Indiana, they're good, they're up and coming, they had a hot start. Same thing with Orlando. They should be a play-in team. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They could sneak in and get hot and get to that 6 seed if Miami decides like last year not to care. But those should be your top seeds. Is
yeah, for sure.
obviously Boston's going to be number one. No one's going to overtake them, and then basically 2 through 6 should be in X amount of order: Milwaukee, New York, Cleveland, Philly, and Miami. Like those should
Unless
be
after
your top
that,
six.
unless the Lakers beating them has put them on a bad run, you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Uh, Boston, like I said, that's the
Yeah,
thing about the Celtics. Like they're gonna lose, but you're not gonna lose more, a lot. So
yeah,
you're not gonna see Boston have a 6 game losing streak. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If anything, it's gonna be like two. Like on if they lose a couple guys, you might have a 3 game losing streak. That is, I cannot see the Boston Celtics this year losing more than 3 games in a row. Like I don't.
yeah,
And that would have to be like a gauntlet 3 games. You know what I mean?
yeah,
West Coast, like 8 game West Coast trip, and then you finish up at Denver, at fucking Minnesota, or at
yeah, for
Oklahoma
sure.
City, like
Yeah,
against 3 powerhouses. Like that's the only way. But even then, they'll still probably find a way to win one of those games. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just too good. So
You're right. I
they
can't see them
you're
losing
gonna have
six
teams
games.
that they're gonna lose, but they're not gonna have big losing streaks for like Milwaukee has been inconsistent, so that's why they've kind of fallen back to the pack. So now in the second half, I wonder how much it's going to be about teams really fighting for that position and home court, or if it's teams just looking for certain matchups. You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah,
Clippers did that a few times. Like they lost some games to be a seed, so they would avoid certain teams in the first round, type of deal. It's they teams start to do that now. It's like, okay, yeah, I could be the 2 seed, but do I really want to face whatever? One of the you want to get the 2 seed because you want to try and get that play in, but if I'm a 3 seed, do I want to see this team? If I'm at the bottom, if I'm like 5 or 6, I'm like, do I want to fight a 5 seed where I'm going to play this team, or do I want to kind of try to keep this 6 seed so I can play this team? You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
Teams at the bottom can kind of pick their own destiny, who they want the matchups to be, whereas the ones at the top get less of a choice. So
Yeah,
obviously organizations and fan like younger teams, not younger, but like a lot of teams are going to want home court. They want that final 7th game in your building. But like the Heat proved and other teams proved, you can win on the road. So,
Yeah, you can.
Home court matters, but it doesn't matter at the same time. It's not. It's not
Yeah,
one of
because
those
you would
things.
like to finish 4 games and just sweep them, and then not even worry about coming back to your building in the 5th game. And then it is nice for the 7th game to be at home, just in case it gets to that. But yeah, like you
Right.
said,
You want that
you
home
want
crowd,
to. Yeah, I want to
but
sweep
there's
them 4-0, get it over with. Let's move on.
plenty of teams that have lost Game 7 on their home court.
Yeah,
It happens. It's not.
yeah,
It's not a guarantee. So
for sure.
um, you know that's about it with basketball. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, we had some games last night. Pacers lost again. Heat won. What do we got tonight? Let's see. I know the Knicks play tonight. Oh, Knicks and Lakers. That's the big prime time game. And yet, we're not gonna have Julius Randle. I hope OG Anunoby plays. Who knows if LeBron's gonna play or Anthony Davis, because they did not play against the Celtics, even though they won that game. But who knows? Maybe they don't play tonight. They're probably game time decisions. Sixers and Nets. That should be a win for the Sixers, but you never know, because without Embiid, that's going to be a different
Yeah.
matchup. Milwaukee and Dallas, that should be pretty fun. That's in Dallas, and I know Dallas likes to pay the refs in their home games, so they will get an advantage there. But Milwaukee, you don't know what team's going to show up. Like, they could score, but they lost to Portland the other day. Like, that was as bad of a loss as you're going to have all year. Like, you
Yeah.
can't lose to a team that has 7 wins.
Yeah, for sure. For
um,
sure.
Cavs and Spurs. Cavs will probably still stay hot because the Spurs are just not, a contender. Bulls and Kings. That should be an entertaining game. They're both around the same, I'd say, quality, even though the Kings have a better record. The Kings is just one of those teams that they have a good record, and they have some wins, but whenever they play a top team or whenever they have a big game, they lose. So
Yeah.
even though they have some really good players in Fox and Sabonis, like, they put up good numbers, but, like, every time it's like, oh, prime time, they're playing, whatever, and then they lose, and it's like, oh, well, are they really contenders? Or are they pretenders? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know. NHL, when does that start back up?
Think after this weekend, because it's the games this weekend, so I'm hopefully I gotta look
Yeah.
for sure. Let me look up the
I,
NHL because I did not see anything.
my the thing that I bet through my app gave me a free $10 bet for golf. So it's the first time I bet on golf this year.
Yeah, February 5th is the first game they come back.
And the guy I bet on is, I mean, it's still 4 days, so they have 2 more to go, but he's not even close to the hunt. Like, the first place person's like 11 under, and he's like 4 under. So
Wow.
I'm probably going to lose that bet. But golf's hard to bet on, so.
I never betted on golf in my life, so I would not know.
Well, the odds are, like, even if it's like, the favorite was that McIlroy. He's even if you bet $10 on him and he wins, you're still gonna win like $30. Like, it's still like a big time thing. But most of these guys, it's like 5,000 to 1. So then a lot of times that happens and they win. So, like, you bet a guy to win. I bet $10 on this guy to win. He's probably not, but his payout was like $400. So,
Yeah.
so it's just it's and then, like, there was an event last week where the guy who won was like a huge underdog. If you bet $10 on him, you would have won like $600. So, like, but there's so many people in the field. There's literally like 200 people. So it's like, pick one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even if you follow golf, like, and you understand, like, who the top players are and this and that. And I was a little bit more familiar with that, like, years ago. But
Yeah.
even then, it's like they could just get hot and win that tournament, And it's sometimes it's about timing, it's about weather, and it's about, like, when they're going off. So, you kind of look for certain things. It's easier to kind of, I think, pick the second day, but and then certain golf. Most of these golfers now, if they have a big lead, they don't really choke it away unless whatever start time on the last day has bad weather conditions. But
Yeah.
usually, and they play differently too. Like, you're aggressive early to try and get a good score, and then once you get that, you're playing it safe, and then you just
You're going for
keep
the
it people at that,
pars.
right.
Yeah, no,
So golf, I enjoy watching it because like I think their skills are incredible, and every time you see like some crazy shots or some crazy putts, and it's like pretty entertaining. But
yeah.
it's hard to tell the bet on. If it wasn't a free bet, I probably wouldn't have done it. But you know,
Yeah, no, I don't
but
blame you, man. I have no idea with like how that. So you're betting for the winner, right?
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
you bet before the tournament starts, and like their odds are bad. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I know this guy's a good golfer, and he's like, I mean, he's not in contention, but and he's pretty far off. And we'll see after today. Like that's just it. Like one day they can make an incredible run and
Yeah.
come close. But usually, like he's what? He's 7 shots back, which is not insurmountable. Like you can make that up in a day or two, and
Oh yeah, for sure. You just need
more
to make the
days.
cuts.
Right. So, but we'll see. There's a lot of people up at the top. There's like 4 or 5 people at like 11 under, I think. Let me
I,
see.
even when Tiger Woods was shooting these like crazy games, no one was even close to 11 under. Like these guys are getting so good. Like,
Well, yeah, they are. Well, yeah, they are, and it's also like they've made. There's different courses. Like certain courses you can
okay.
do stuff like that, but then there's courses where like you shouldn't be able to, and that's what Tiger would fucking do. Like there were courses where like the wind conditions or whatever, and guys were shooting like even par or 1 or 2 under, and here's fucking Tiger at 15 under. Like
Yeah, Tiger.
like
He made
Tiger
it
was just
exciting. That's the only reason
he
why I
did
watch golf, man, because of him. Because he was just so.
well.
I'm waiting for his son Charlie to come out there. He looks good too.
I'm sure he'll be good, but nobody will dominate the way that Tiger did.
No, no.
Tiger was just incredible. Like he just, and it wasn't even like yeah, he could drive the ball far, but he always. For me, watching him, it was always his recovery shots. Like, cause he'd drive the ball a mile, like whatever, and then like he'd be on some like bad angle or like behind a tree or something stupid or in the sand halfway through, and you're like, oh, that's a bad shot. And then his second shot would be like, how the hell did a human being just do that? Like,
Yeah,
it's like you're behind a tree in a sand pit, and your second shot, everybody else would be screwed, and your next shot, you put it like a foot from the fucking hole.
yeah.
Like, well, what the hell? His
It was
recovery,
like it was planned. It was so
and
yeah,
he was the best putter on tour. Like every aspect of his game when he was on top was just far and above everybody else. And there was a lot of rumors that he did like steroids and stuff like that to be able to have that like hand-eye coordination and that. But maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But
do they drug test in golf?
they did not. So
No.
you never know. I mean, it could have, but the guy dominated. Like betting back then was like if you could bet on Tiger to win, like it might even be less money. Like it was like you had to bet $2 to win $1, and
Yeah,
there were bets like literally like Tiger or the field, like it's a 50-50, and then like
yeah.
Tiger would still win. For like that it was like a 2 or 3 year period where he won literally almost every major that he played in. So
Yeah,
it was crazy.
definitely very talented, very very good. You know what I mean? His off the grass life was a little bit of craziness for a little bit, and then he went back to normal because his son playing golf kind of like calmed him down. So that helped him out to like be able to go and now be like
And
100%.
I'm not golf nut. I'm just scrolling through some news in ESPN. Carl Weathers passed away at 76.
Oh
He
yeah, I
was
meant to say that. Yeah, Rocky Balboa's
Rocky
Creed.
Balboa.
Creed.
He was
Yeah, I saw that. That was
he was also in Happy Gilmore. He was
he
the
was. It was
Chubbs,
the yeah Jobs.
Chubbs
It was
with
hand.
his yeah with his hand, and he did that role as a recurring character in different Adam Sandler movies too. It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, yeah.
Little
Sure
Nicky,
to
he was he was like his mom's like golf coach or whatever.
Yeah, I love that Adam Sandler does that. Like he finds a couple people that like he loves, and they
Yeah.
find a way into the movie no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's a small cameo or a humongous one, but like they're gonna be in there. He doesn't care.
Had a good career, man. He was in a lot of memorable stuff. He was actually one of his last roles was in The Mandalorian, and you know
Oh yeah, he was what's his name? He was one of
series.
the vendors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he rejuvenated. You know that series rejuvenated the fan base
Oh, dude, I
after
don't
the
even.
terrible.
I
So,
never watched anything Star Wars, but The Mandalorian was great from the first episode, man.
oh yeah, it
It
really
was,
was. So
yeah,
I'm sorry we're gonna miss Carl Weathers, man. He
yeah,
was good. You know, he was always entertaining.
yeah.
He was probably one of these guys, and he was definitely I see one of these guys in Hollywood that everybody just fucking loved.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You
It
know,
had to be.
was just like pretty much, oh man, we get to work with Carl Weathers on this project. That's going to be so much fun,
Yeah, they didn't
Uh,
even say why he passed away because it said like it didn't
I
even say.
mean, 76, who knows?
He was still doing films.
Maybe he was still doing films. Maybe he was still doing, drugs. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe,
Still
you
doing
know,
steroids to look like Creed.
steroids for Creed. And, he was in the original Predator, he was,
Yeah, he did a lot. He
a
did.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, he was an
Yeah.
amazing
So,
actor, man.
yeah, it was a lot of the films I grew up watching and loving was Weathers was a big part of it. So
Yeah, for
rest in
sure.
peace, my pal. Maybe you are giving golf lessons or acting lessons to people up in the sky, but
Yeah,
he lived a good life. Then he definitely had a good influence on a lot of people. So
he definitely did.
a little bit of a sad note, but other than that, I don't think we got too much more for today. Happy Saturday. There's not really much, watching basketball today because that's really this is a feature day for them. So, no hockey, no football. The game is tomorrow. So enjoy your basketball, or if not, maybe watch some movies. I heard the Argyle movie was really good.
Yeah,
A friend of mine said it was really cute and funny. Had an after credit scene, which was fun. So I don't know. Go out, see movies. Maybe watch a little movie with Carl Weathers today, and that's it.
yeah. No, definitely go out there and do that. You won't be disappointed if you never watched any of those episodes or movies that we said. I promise you, he will bring you some laughter. He's a good comedian. He was a good actor for sure. Very good. He was funny in the a
Oh,
lot of movies too.
he was a good actor. He's good
Yeah,
comic relief, comic acting,
yeah,
comic timing, and all that other stuff. So.
yeah. Because Creed was a comedian. Like Apollo Creed
Oh
was a
yeah,
funny. That was his role. The cocky boxer who was like funny and thought he was the shit, but like a good personality that kind of lets you like him at the same time as hating him because he was so cocky. So it was fun. Rocky was like, "Why you
the
always
big
like
rival,
this?"
back when there
Yeah,
was the big rivalry between Stallone and
yeah,
Arnold. He was in movies with both of them. So
yeah.
you know, it is what it is. All right, but that's our show for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and tell all your friends and
To all
share
your
to everyone
friends.
that you
Yeah,
know.
we appreciate you. We're trying to come in with the information, aka all their sports. I know everybody knows football the most, but we're trying to get you guys into golf, hockey, basketball.
That's
We're
it.
gonna have that. So we'll talk tomorrow more about the All-Star game for the football, and then we'll talk more about the NHL, how it went through everything
Mm-hmm.
that happens probably tonight. I think it's tonight is the NHL. I'm not 100% sure. We'll let you know tomorrow. But we appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe. We love you all. We will see you guys tomorrow. We're out.